Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Wednesday morning, December 7th, 2016. In the United States, we know this day as Pearl Harbor Day. I'd be making my video on Pearl Harbor Day right now, but first I gotta share this story with you. So today, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. Also, in 1917, it was the day the United States declared war on Austria-Hungary. World War I. So World War I, World War II, December 7th, dates of war declaration for the United States. Talk about history repeating itself. Anyhow, I'm not making the video right now because I got a surprise phone call this morning. Jeranism from Truth Frequency Radio, from the popular YouTube channel. He wanted to talk this morning. He gave me a call, and we had a nice conversation. We talked about the flat earth, which is his big topic. We talked about my work. At the end of the conversation, he asked me, I don't get why the media would fake plane crashes. Why would they do that? And I said to him, think about it. All of the programming that this media gives us is fear-driven, from disease and illness to shootings to terrorists to kidnappers, child molesters, etc. It's all fear-driven. And plane crashes play on a very real fear. So many people in this world have a natural fear of heights. They hate to fly. Tons of people have to fly for work. Occasions they get put in every day that don't want to fly. These constant stories of false plane crashes, they just play on that anxiety that's very real for people. The powers that be want to keep us in a depressed state, an anxious state, a fearful state. And fake plane crashes in the media, they're very often, and they're always by the numbers. Look at what it says here. It says at least 43 dead in a plane crash, 43 minutes. This ticker has been this way since Jeranism, since I got off the phone with him, which was about a half hour ago. So for 30 minutes, CNN's kept this at 43 minutes with 43 dead. Look at what plane crash equals in gematria. 43. And I just got done talking about this in the Columbia plane crash. You know? If you missed that video, I will link it in the description. That video is the reason Jeranism called me. He just couldn't get his mind around why the media would ever fake a plane crash. He said he understood why they'll fake the shootings for this political agenda and these things, but he said, why a plane crash? So when I explained it to him this morning, he said, aha, that actually makes a lot of sense. And it just reminds me, Jeranism's a bright guy. A lot of us, we just need to think about something or have something explained to us the right way one time for it to stick. And up to that moment, it hadn't crossed his mind why they might fake plane crashes by the numbers. The comment I want to add is I haven't done any research on this plane crash this morning. But even if this is a real plane crash, the reason they're reporting 43 dead and keeping 43 minutes on the ticker is because these people report everything by the numbers. This numbers into words practice known as gematria. It is a Jewish Kabbalistic practice, Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism in numbers, words into numbers. And it is no secret who controls the media worldwide. It is the Zionist Jews, the same people who control money. And what the media is a weapon of information, and it is used to control the minds of the masses. If you want to control people, if that is your interest, you don't care about their well-being, your interest is in controlling them, this is how you start doing things, such as creating false news to instill fear, making children afraid to go to school because they might get shot, making a person afraid that their plane might be the next to crash right after they read these headlines. How many people right now, are in the airport waiting for their plane, maybe their plane's delayed, they're looking at their phone, and they're looking at this story right now. They already don't want to fly, now they're reading the story about the plane that just crashed. And we just had a plane crash last week with the Brazilian football team, supposedly. So anyway, this video is for all the people in the world who are like Jeranism, intelligent people who just never let the right thought cross their mind on some subjects. On this video channel that you're watching now, in case you've arrived here, please do subscribe to my channel. I keep up with the news. I show how the news is falsified on the daily, by the numbers, thousands of videos, even more blog posts to prove it. But if you go through the many videos I've made, I have several on plane crashes by the numbers, and I've gone back in time and decoded, big plane crash stories of the past. It's amazing how these same numbers show up again and again. I just talked about the significance of this number 43 in regards to the plane crash story of last week. So anyway, Jeranism, I appreciate his phone call this morning. It seemed like it was destined, Just had this conversation. We get off the phone. He's probably looking at the same headline as me. He might not be making the connection with 43, though. So, now that I've shared that story, I just want to finish by recommending a few YouTube channels that I meant to recommend when I made my last two videos. And I'm sure after I make these recommendations, I'm going to think, oh my goodness, how did I forget to recommend that person too? So if you're that person, apologies, let me know. Here's who it is. Jeranism. His topic is mostly the flat earth. And admittedly, the flat earth, it's not real important to me. It's not on my priority list. And I say I could be wrong about that. Maybe it should be higher on my priority list. But the reason it's not is because I know the world I live in. Since I was 18, I've been explaining the very obvious lies of 9/11 and having people refuse to acknowledge the logic and truth of what I'm saying. I've been talking about the logical things, how since day one, I still remember why I don't believe in 9/11. The news just was not fooling me that day. I watched on TV as reporters told me they recovered passports, box cutter knives, and cloth turbans. That's like recovering my beanie from a plane crash. Anyway, that same day they said they couldn't recover the planes or the people or the luggage. I mean, imagine it. You can't find a body, but you found somebody's turban in their passport? You didn't find any of their other luggage? If you pay attention to the news every day, it is completely illogical, the things they tell you. Far-fetched. What are they? All the words we know for it. It's a big fish. It's a whopper of a tail. That's what the news gives you all day. All day. And the people who run the news, the Zionist Jews, they have a sense of humor. They make fun of themselves. They make fun of themselves routinely in children's movies. They've been telling us the truth our whole lives. The long noses signify the lying. Pinocchio. That movie Minions that just came out. The two most evil people in the world are a married Jewish couple. So anyway, Jeranism. This man, he does flat earth, and I have to admit he does it very well. Jeranism does not claim to know that the earth is flat. He just makes very good arguments. And, for example, in this video, which he just did on the Brazilian plane crash, at the beginning of the video, he made a comment about how he didn't think I was right about this plane crash being by the numbers. And that's fine. I don't care if he agrees or disagrees with me. But then, from there, he went on to make the point about air travel over the Brazilian rainforest. And I still need to verify that everything he said is true. I've been looking into it a little, and I think he might be right. Airplanes, they're not tracked as they fly over the Brazilian rainforest. And you got to ask yourself, well, why would that be? Why would planes not be tracked as they fly over the rainforest? And he makes the point. Are planes really being tracked from the sky with satellites? Or are they being tracked from the ground? Because if they're being tracked from the ground, the Brazilian rainforest is dense with woods. It's pretty much the continental United States, but all woods. Not a lot of development in there. Still indigenous people live in the Brazilian rainforest. Maybe that's where we need to go set up Truth Seekerville. We'll all go hide out in the Brazilian rainforest. I'm almost there. But anyway, it's a good point. Why are they not tracked over the rainforest? If planes are really being tracked from the ground and not the sky, I mean, that's a good argument that maybe we're being lied to about what's up above. But I reminded him that even if that's true, if there's not satellites up there, that doesn't necessarily prove that the Earth's flat either. It could be that they're just lying to us about being able to get through a barrier they can't. So, the point is, people are looking for truth. Jeranism's after truth. If you want to entertain thoughts, even the flat earth, I recommend Jeranism's channel because I think he presents the arguments honestly and fairly and brings up great questions. And all things start with great questions. Another channel I really like, Trutheracy. He's on his third channel. I think YouTube's deleted him twice. He does very good work. And I want to make a point here about Jeranism and Trutheracy. Jeranism is about the flat earth. Trutheracy is like me. He covers a lot of things. And he's also like me about the flat earth. He's not a big fan of it. And he spent a lot of time debunking flat earth. But I've realized in some of his debunk videos, he's not correct either. So this is why I just don't want to fight over the shape of the earth, and I don't think it's a worthy investment of our time. I think asking the right questions and revealing truth is important, and that can be done through any subject, even flat earth, like I'm saying with Jeranism. He's asking the right questions about the Brazilian rainforest and why planes aren't tracked over it. But Trutheracy and Jeranism, the point I want to make is, as truth seekers, you need to be open-minded. When you run into somebody who says something that goes against what you believe or think, you shouldn't just say, oh, I'm not listening to them anymore. So often as video makers, we know how it is. We make a video and we say something that somebody doesn't agree with, so they leave this nasty message and how they've been a supporter for a long time, but now they can't support anymore. And it's like, well, you disagreed with one thing after listening to me for a year, and now you're just out of here like that? I mean, where's the rationality in that? Where's the logic in that? That's the all or nothing mentality, which to me is an immature mentality. So, you want a little Trutheracy in your cabinet and Jeranism and everything else out there that's actually out here trying to help you. And I get the sense that both Trutheracy and Jeranism are genuine people trying to put out information, reveal the sickness, the perversion that is upon all of us in this world. Just like I do. That's why I'm here. I got fed up in 2013. I said, I'm not working any more 9-to-5s. I'm not putting up with any more of this bullshit. I'm not listening to anyone else call me a tinfoil hat. I'm going to go out here and wake some people up and change this world. That's how I felt in 2013. And, it's been the same thing every day up to the present. So here's another great channel. I don't know how I didn't plug them in either of the two videos. Global Agenda. This is someone sometimes they say things I'm thinking, oh goodness, not this, but it's like that with everybody. For the most part, this person does good work, putting out important information, timely videos. He just did this great video on James Elefantis, this Pizzagate owner, saying, is this a government asset setting everyone up, just like what I'm saying? But he takes it more of like, a research angle, gets lots of pieces of the puzzle and puts it into a video. So, Global Agenda, good channel. And Operation Truth. I forgot to plug this guy too. He's awesome. He's always keeping up with things, working hard. I don't know how he only has 746 subscribers. That seems impossible. So I'm going to link all of these video channels in the description. Please subscribe. It's funny how life works out. Still at 43 minutes. And if you know CNN's page, it refreshes on its own. It's been up here probably close to an hour now. 43 dead in plane crash. Plane crash 43. If you want to know how to do gematria, how this system works, watch the video in the description. Right here for plane crash, all it's doing is breaking down every digit to a single number. P, the 16th letter, 1 plus 6, 7. L, the 12th letter, 1 plus 2, 3. A, the first letter. N's the 14th letter, 1 plus 4 is 5. E is the 5th letter. My clicking's not going so well. C is the 3rd letter. R is the 18th letter. 1 plus 8 is 9. You see? S is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. A is 1. S is 1. H is the 8th letter. Add the whole word up. Plane crash 43. And if you do it with the alphabetic order, where P's the 16th letter, L's the 12th, A's the 1st, N's the 14th, you get this number, 97. These two methods, they'll always break down to the same numerology, mathematical check. 9 plus 7 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. Breaks down to the single digit 7. Plane crash 4 plus 3 is 7. They'll always break down to the same single digit. It comes back to 9. Read about 9 in numerology. Just do a web search, type 9 numerology. I bet you all sorts of awesome things will come up that'll blow your mind. So there it is, Truth Seeker. Thanks for the phone call, Jeranism. Be right back with the Pearl Harbor Day.